Just outside the Schillingstrasse U-Bahn Station, or the Schilling Street U-Bahn station. And right here, I think this is where you come to when you want to see the best example of East Berlin. A couple things to that, okay? So one, this is Karl Marx Allee. It was originally called Stalin Allee, and unfortunately it was the result of a lot of buildings being demolished so they could build a socialist utopia type of street that was supposed to highlight all the benefits of doing everything collectively. Of course, in execution that didn't happen. And the irony of a place like this is this was built supposedly for the workers. The only thing is the workers didn't really live here. This was more of a bourgeoisie type street. Just pointing out a few of the buildings here. First and foremost, the Kino International. All right, Kino in the German language means cinema. And this was built in 1963. You can see they're celebrating their 60th anniversary. So it has this awesome kind of like engraving on the side that depict different things. But I think the building, the way it kind of looks, I always call it the ET cinema because it looks like ET from the side. Moving on, the Cafe Moskau, still an event space today. Two things you need to stop and see when you're there. One, the Bert Heller Life of the People of the Soviet Union mural. It's a tile mural, and it's going to be in line with a lot of socialist art. And then also the Sputnik atop the building. Look at that. If I could adjust the light, I have better footage of that too. I can pin in there. But anyway, the Sputnik that's atop the building, it's actually to size, gifted by the Soviet Union too. And what Berlin had too was restaurants that represented cities in other socialist brother countries like the Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia, Romania, Hungary. There was a cafe, things like that. They were represented here too. But a couple more things. All right, one, you have signage atop buildings representing different industries. So if you know something about communist countries, industry, scientific development were things that were super, super important. This one is the Balkancarpodem. It's a Bulgarian company. It's actually still in existence today, and they were known for manufacturing things like forklifts and other like mechanized equipment. They were really renowned for their quality. So that's one of those things that is a positive that came out of it. Not everything that was produced by a socialist country is considered good quality. There were things that were made, but they weren't always known as good. Specifically, probably the most glaring example of that is the Trabant car. They were known for being very simple, and they did last forever, but they were pretty heavy on pollution because it was like a 2-cycle engine, and they weren't luxurious at all. They were just very, very simple. Anyway, moving on, the Tatra Motokov. That's a Czech company. They were known for producing trucks, other kind of heavier types of vehicles, diesel vehicles. Obviously, after the breakup of the Soviet Union and a lot of the socialist and communist countries moving to capitalism, a lot of those companies were privatized. Those were previously like state-owned companies. So you have the Kino International, Cafe Moscow, and then those two advertisements. And then the other ones you don't want to forget too are the Mokka Milch Eis Bar too. That's just right here, and that's under construction right now. And then the Camp 4 Wandern building, the outdoors building as well. And then the other thing is the Hotel Berolina was used as a backdrop for some like East German bands. It was considered like a cool place, and now the signage atop it's gone, of course. But the coolest part about, I think, when you come here is you can imagine it in the 60s, and it doesn't really seem like it was that far away. That's not true for a lot of places, but this street really is it's stopped in time in a way, because the way the architecture is, there's no way to really modify it without completely changing it. So it's not like you can tweak one thing or something and then that's sort of like, how it kind of changes over time. They didn't really do anything to these places at the ground level, and that's usually what changes a lot of a place. When that happens, you can tell, oh, look at the old signage of, you know, a bygone era, and now here's what it looks like. They didn't do that here, and that's why it looks like it's still trapped in time. But as you get a better shot of the Hotel Berolina, this actually used to be parking, so you could still park right in front. Can't anymore, of course, because it's Rathaus Mitte. It's an apartment. I think it could be apartments or even maybe student housing too. But it's been renovated pretty extensively, so I think that's still a good spot to be. Even though I know Mitte in Berlin isn't really known for its living, like it's not a place you live. People kind of just work here, but the Stalin Allee or the Karl Marx Allee certainly has a lot of apartments, and these were luxurious apartments. These weren't like a single bedroom or like some like railroad apartment. These were nice. They had multiple bedrooms, big tall ceilings, like plenty of light, natural light. So anyway, see, there's the other side of the ET theater, ET cinema. That's my nickname for it. I'm sure people don't want me to nickname things in a country that's not my own, but that's not going to stop me. So anyway, there it is. It's November, but it feels like February. I give everything a nickname, and they don't always stick. I'm always like hunting and trying to find the next thing I can try to make catchy. I have like a record, like my own personal record of like things that I feel like I started. So I call it the ET cinema because it looks like ET from the side.